Chasing Points podcast. We are back. This is week two. We're heading into week two, but we're recapping week one, recapping our weekend. It was a lot of football. This is when we are recording this. This is going to be day 5 straight of football, if I remember correctly. Yep, day 5 straight. We like it. We love it. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
So good.
We're
Football's
so back.
Big
We
back.
made it, man. We made it.
Feels like fall's here.
Yeah, it's a little chilly out.
Yeah, a little brisk.
Beautiful.
It's not.
It's my first weekend with Sunday Ticket.
Bravo.
I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Wow, he just stole my shit. That's crazy.
Mhm.
That's wild.
Hayes, how are you? How are you today?
Brendan.
Wow.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
So nice.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Brendan, I'm
That's so.
great.
Get a room,
I'm
guys.
great, Brendan. Thank you.
Awesome. You got like a Darius Rucker kind of vibe going on here.
I want to be with you.
We got the Henley and a dad cap. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
you, man.
Hey.
This is good.
Yeah,
Don't call
I
him
like it.
booty, though.
Hey.
Don't
I
do it.
dislike you so much.
I dig it.
Rock me, mama.
I knew this is a setup somehow, some way.
Dolphins
I
make
knew
him
it
cry.
was.
That's
Yeah.
so good. We might get a copyright infringement.
There you go.
Yep. Sorry.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Brendan, for the setup. How's everybody else doing?
Just here so I won't
Okay.
get fined.
Again?
No, I'm good.
That's good. Okay, so
Happy Monday Night Football, baby.
We're ready. We're ready to go into
thank
football.
you.
Hayes,
Appreciate it.
as you can tell.
About
Yeah.
time. All right. We got a new segment here. Overreaction or no? Should have put nah. The
No.
Packers are the best team in the NFC. Overreaction or no?
Who wants to start?
Just jump in, please. Let's act like we
They look like
podcasted
it.
before.
They, yeah. Hi, is this mic working? No, the Packers like played a solid game every facet of the game, right? Just completely own the Lions. I know we'll can get into that. I have the Packers as my my dub for the week 1 here, but I thought it was a complete football game. You can say a lot about the Lions losing both coordinators and Jared Goff in a tough environment, whatever. But they shut down the run. The defense was just suffocating. They scored. It seemed like they scored whenever they wanted to, and just a lot of fun to watch. So yeah, this division is going to be insane to watch because I don't think the Lions are this bad, and maybe the Packers aren't this good, but I think Packers are really good. I don't know if I
Overreaction
answered it.
or no?
Overreaction.
Okay.
I tend to take the field when it's like one versus the field, but I don't know who would be number 2 at this point.
Yeah, I don't think it's an overreaction. Obviously, the Eagles are still there, but the
Oh, yeah,
Packers
the
just
Eagles,
looked. They made a 15-win team from last year look very vanilla and meh, and it's kind of what we were worried about with the Lions when they lost Ben Johnson. But their offense they made them look really bad. You had Mike out there doing stuff. Everyone's worried, rightfully so, worried about the back injection, but he made plays, while he was on the field. Jordan Love managed the game effectively. Josh Jacobs looked great. The defense looked suffocating. I don't think it's an overreaction at all. I think, whoever had picked them, I think a few of us had them going pretty far. I think you should feel pretty comfortable with that pick. They looked that good yesterday.
Brendan?
I'm feeling very comfortable
Yeah, you
after
should.
picking them.
You should.
After all that
yeah.
hate for our boy Jordan.
You're right. You're right.
They held
say-
Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to 44
Yeah.
combined
Yeah.
yards. That's insane.
Yeah. I'd say it's an overreaction. I think, yes, played a hell of a game. Obviously, beating the best team in the NFC North there, the Lions from last year. I still think the Eagles, have that or take that crown as the best team in the NFC. But it's a good game. Good game. But yeah, I think it's an overreaction for right now. Too soon to say, in my opinion. Week 1, Lions, I don't think they're this bad. I think they will come back and rebound here. And that's not taking anything away from Green Bay. As you guys mentioned, the defense was stout. Offense looked really good as well. But to say they're the best team in the NFC at this point, I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
I second that, and it's not just the fact because I'm an Eagles fan. I just think it's just the fact that it's week one. It's just week one.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know what we always go off of is last year, but if we talk about last year, we obviously talk about what you guys have mentioned already, the Lions losing their coordinators, which is a big deal. You saw it through most of the game. The Lions last year was the most explosive team, considered to be the most explosive team in football offensively. And they only showed that in a couple plays on Sunday. That didn't exist. And you saw a little, I don't know if it was they were playing, the coordinator getting their feet wet, whatever the case may be. Again, it's week one. A lot of teams don't play their starters even in preseason anymore. So week 1 to week 3 is essentially like the preseason for these guys. So I'm not really going to judge them until and most teams not until game 3, game 4, around there. And I know each game is valuable, but for me, that's kind of my judgment or more my barometer to judge. But also last year, the Packers had the number 5 defense in football, and they added Micah Parsons. So it looks like they picked up where they left off, and they're going to be hard to play against no matter what. So I do think it's an overreaction right now. I think it's an overreaction for anybody claiming that they're the best or whatever at this point in time. People are still getting acclimated. So we'll see what happens week 2, week 3, week 4.
He's going to hate the next question then.
The Bills are the best team in the AFC. Overreaction or no? I will say, I want to say no, but I'm going to say it is an overreaction because the team that they played is going to get better, or so I hope. So I hope. So can I put I don't know?
I think it's
answer the question. Please do that. You've been doing that to me for 5 years.
Fair.
Answer the question.
Yeah, I'm going to go with overreaction then.
Yeah, I'm going to go with huge overreaction. But I don't know who is. No one really showed a lot this first weekend. Those teams, obviously, Bills and Ravens are up there. I had no idea the Bills secondary was as depleted as it was. They're down 2 corners. They're down a safety. They're going to have to find some answers there to contend for a Super Bowl, which is what the window that they're in right now with the team they have. They're definitely upper echelon, but with that amount of question marks on the defensive side of the ball, saying anyone is the best team in the AFC right now would be a huge overreaction in my part, from my view.
Yeah, this just felt like a AFC championship game, a la Bills, Chiefs, Bengals, all of these shootouts that we've seen the last few years. And it was right there. I think these 2 teams will be right back at it. And I don't really look at, I know we'll get into it. I don't really look at the Ravens as they, huge fumble and they lost. They had a big lead and they lost the game. That most of us stayed up for, by the way. But I'm not that worried about the Ravens. I don't know. Maybe we'll get into that later, but I'm not worried. Especially considering how they lost.
I feel better about the Ravens right now than I do the Bills. I mean, the Bills needed just massive plays from Josh Allen, which they've been getting the last couple of years. But that's just, how can you bank on that every single time, especially, when it comes down to it in playoff time. But the Ravens just looked like an absolute machine. From Derrick Henry to D-Hop catching one-handers to Zay Flowers. They should have ran away with that game if it wasn't for Josh Allen being Superman for the Bills. And, you guys said it going in, the Ravens had a better lineup and a better overall team, and they showed that for up until 5 minutes left in the game.
3.5 quarters, whatever.
Yeah. I was definitely way more impressed with the Ravens and how they looked for the amount of the game I did watch and stay up for. Derrick Henry is just a monster.
Unbelievable.
That stiff arm on the DB there.
Yeah, had him sliding. Yeah.
It just even the commentators say like, geez, just embarrassing like that. That's just going to be like on highlight reels for the rest of the season. I think the Ravens are an impressive team, on both sides of the ball. It hurts me to say because he helped my opponent in fantasy beat me. But their defense, Kyle Hamilton was all over the place in the backfield.
One of the better safeties.
Hell of a defensive back, I was just impressed all around with what they were doing. And they got the receiving weapons, they got the ground game. Lamar looked good. So I think to answer your question, I do think it's a stretch saying the Bills are the best team in the AFC, despite beating the Ravens. I was more impressed with the overall team of the Ravens than I was the Bills last night.
If you're starting a franchise today, are you taking Josh or are you taking Lamar? This is for all of you.
Oh, man.
I'm taking Josh. It's why I thought he was the MVP last year and why, he's got a good chance to win it again this year. When you pit him up against Lamar, the Ravens are just better. They're just better all the way across the field from defense to offensive weapons. And Josh Allen just does a little bit more with less. And if you replace them, I don't know, like say you replaced Lamar on the Ravens or put Lamar on the Bills and Josh on the Ravens, what's different. But for me, that's why I would take Josh Allen, just because of the amount of times in a game that he just takes over. Lamar does amazing things. He's incredible. Like he had 76 yards on one play, just running from behind the line of scrimmage to getting that third down conversion. But just he has the pieces around him that just elevate him a little bit more. Not that he's not a great player. I would just take Josh.
It's crazy because both of these players had such concerns coming out of the draft, right? Josh Allen wasn't accurate. People didn't even think Lamar Jackson should be a quarterback, which was
absurd,
comical at the time, but has, 2 MVPs later, could easily won last year. No one would have said anything.
There's a lot of roots to that.
They've made so many strides. Yeah, absolutely. They've made so many strides, right? And become such better players. I don't know who I'd pick. I agree with you, Harrison. I want to say Josh Allen, just from the size and how he plays the game and the strides he's made. But Lamar is such a good passer. And Chris Collinsworth said it last night. It was one or two of those runs that no one else. Michael Vick was probably the only other player that could have made on the one hand on the ground, just making things happen. I don't know who I'd probably just pick Josh, from assuming they're the same age, from a size standpoint. But I wouldn't want to make that choice.
Talk about a toss-up. You can't go wrong with either, right?
No,
talk about dynamic players, guys that can win you ball games. I hate to go with the grain here and agree with you guys with Josh, but I agree. He's kind of like that, not really prototypical passer, but like that big guy, big arm, but runs, puts the team on his back. Lamar could do the same thing. So it's no knock, on him by any means, but I think I would lean Josh as well. I don't know if you guys saw the segment too with the Josh coming out of college with his shoulder tilt. I don't know if you guys see that, and then compared to where he is now, when he released his release point, his shoulders were almost diagonal almost, and not squared up to the receiver, and how much he's progressed and made adjustments, made strides in that department to become a more accurate passer. It was pretty crazy to see.
Yeah, I think that was a couple of years ago. He completely changed his mechanics based off biometric stuff, and obviously it's paid huge dividends.
It's in
Hayes, I'm so interested to hear your answer to this, because these are, especially Allen, are two quarterbacks that you have such a high bar, and rightfully so, such a high bar for.
It's Lamar for me.
But they've, again,
it's absolutely Lamar for me. And one thing I want to point out is what Harrison said that I'm going to go against is he said about the talent around him. Lamar did win an MVP without having Derrick Henry there, correct? If I remember correctly.
Yeah,
correct.
No,
I'm not
I know
saying.
you're not.
I'm
I know,
not saying
I know what
they-
you're saying. You don't have to defend yourself. I know what you're saying, sweetheart. I got you. Don't worry. I know.
sweetheart.
Here we go. I know.
Let's go.
But Lamar has what Michael Vick wanted to be, which was be extremely accurate down the field.
He's such a good
he
passer.
has now resorted to being a pocket passer more than anything, and that would scare the shit out of me if I'm a defensive coordinator, knowing that this guy would much rather sit in the pocket, but know at any point in time that he is an absolute blur and easily becomes the fastest player on the field whenever he wants to be. He is so extremely elusive, and I understand what you guys went with, which was Josh Allen. Like, I would love to also have a guy that is pretty fast in his own right? Obviously not Lamar fast, but can also truck you if he needs to, right? By the way, shout out to the Bills for doing the tush push, even though you try to ban it, you losers. But I'll continue. Lamar Jackson, it has to be him for me. Just off his sheer athletic ability. I do think that, Josh is, I love Josh in the fact that he's like more of a gunslinger and that he is not afraid to try to throw it in a very, very tight window. And I just think Lamar is a more finesse guy, if that makes sense. And I would like that more as my quarterback in the sense of that, also with his speed. So that's that.
In terms of size comparison, too, just real quick, Lamar 6'2", 205. Josh is 6'5", almost 240. So pretty big
boy
difference there.
Even for me, like size they're both. Josh obviously bigger, but there's no concerns with Lamar's size for me.
It's just like small. Yeah.
I just don't.
No, he's not. He's not your boy, Bryce.
I don't know how. Like Josh
Tyler
has won the last two head-to-head matchups with a worse team. I just don't. He's different scenarios and outcomes in the way the game plays out. But I would just like to see Lamar like that the third down last night where they get a first down and the game's over. Like he's got to make a play there. Like I know
I'll get to that in L's, but don't worry.
It's stuff like that. But it's stuff like that continuously happens in big moments for Lamar that adds up to where you got Josh Allen on the other side of things. He makes two extremely picture perfect passes, at the right time. And that's kind of what pushes Josh over the edge for me where, yes, I would love to see Lamar in those situations more and him come through in those situations where it's like, you have to get this first down here. Like, you got Derrick Henry off the field. You have to do this right now. Stuff that we'll maybe talk about later with Burrow. And it's like, this is the moment, dude. Like you have to make this play. So that gives me the edge, not the size or the ability. Both of them are amazing.
I promise you,
amazing.
I'll unpack that more when we get to else. I promise you on that.
Okay.
Okay. I have something along the lines of what you're saying, but a little bit deeper. The Colts are winning the AFC. Well, first off, thank you guys for that. The Colts are winning the AFC South.
Good question.
Thank you. Overreaction or no?
Big time.
No,
Big time.
not an overreaction.
You're bugging.
Danny Dimes. Listen. I've lived it for 6 years. Okay.
It wasn't his fault.
We got to blame somebody other than ourselves.
This is like Hayes and I when Darnold left the Jets.
Yeah.
And we were just like, just let him play, man.
I've seen this act before. Not at this level, naturally, right? Like, it's probably his best game of his career. We've seen glimpses of hope throughout the years, and I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. I refuse.
What are the glimpses of hope before yesterday? Was that rollout against his first game against the Bucks, and he threw like a beautiful pass?
There were a
couple
long
runs.
Yeah, and then
the long run where he tripped,
or he doesn't trip. The one where he doesn't trip.
The 5-yard
really
line.
well. And Shane Steichen. There's a reason Shane Steichen was a hot coaching candidate, right? And had an elite offense. He can do this.
I'm going
Sorry.
with not an overreaction just because of the teams around them. Like, I don't believe in as good as the Jaguars looked yesterday. It was against the Panthers. Texans looked
Damn, Bryce.
lost. Titans looked not good. I mean, they're going to struggle this year. So that's why. I mean, they just have so many weapons. We've talked about it for the last year and a half. Like, Pittman and Mitchell and Jonathan Taylor. Like, and then an amazing O-line. Like, their O-line is legitimately one of the top 5 O-lines in the league. So if they're not going to ask Daniel Jones to do too much, like, why can't they be like the Vikings from last year? So that's really why I'm going to say it's not an overreaction, just because of the carnage around them.
Don't wish that on me or Giants fans anywhere.
The O-line is so different.
Yes.
Like here's another quarterback that just goes through the Sean McVay, KOC, Shanahan, system, a la Baker Mayfield, Darnold, Daniel Jones, and maybe something got unlocked. Maybe the Dolphins are just bad. I don't know. It was fun to watch.
That part too. Mm-hmm. But it's the thing. It's like, you put Darnold behind an incredible line. These guys are all competent. Like, they know how to throw a football, and if you can read a defense generally well enough, you're a middle of the range quarterback. And Daniel Jones might just be that, as opposed to being just an abysmal embarrassment. So maybe this is his chance to kind of show people that he's just, I'm okay. I can quarterback a little bit.
Can manage a game. Yeah.
Yeah. But then you look at Sam Darnold now, like with the Seahawks yesterday, their line is bad, and he looked bad. So, team game.
I so badly want to say no to get Brendan going, but it is an overreaction, and it's an overreaction because it's Danny Dimes, who I'm going to big up very shortly. But I don't have faith in him. But you have seen in recent memory success from former Giants players. So very, very, very possible. You never know. But I'm just going to say at this moment, it's an overreaction. But I do, to Harrison's point, I do enjoy the team overall. They do have some phenomenal players, have probably one of my favorite tight ends that's come out of college football in years there.
He went nuts.
He sure did. He's going to continue to go nuts. So, yeah, I'd say overreaction right now. Sam, what was you said something before, but I don't know if you said overreaction or no.
Overreaction. Again, it's
you guys
too
are
early.
so safe.
I like this. If they're going to play like this, that's great. I don't really care who wins this division, though.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are the worst team in football. Overreaction or no? No, it is not an overreaction. They are the worst team that I've seen in football. Shout out to the other teams that I thought were going to be worse than them, but what they did yesterday, it was bad. Shout out to Brian Flores. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, they're very bad. Not an overreaction for me either. Mike McDaniel's probably first coach fired somewhere along the line here.
I'll take him as an offensive coordinator, though.
Oh,
shout out to him for that.
Sure. Yeah. But they just look mismanaged. Tua looks like he's lost all his confidence. Tyreek Hill's not getting happier. Defense was a train wreck. Yeah, they looked the worst yesterday for sure. And I think I don't see how that doesn't not continue. Double negative.
SOFT, softer than ice cream. That's what the team is soft. I'm sorry. Just had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
3 turnovers from Tua, right? Held to 8 points. Defense didn't show up, as you mentioned, Harrison. Yeah, it's going to be a long year in South Florida for sure.
Do you think they tear it down? Like completely?
I think calls came in yesterday and will be coming in for Tyreek more and more and more and more. Mm-hmm. He hasn't caught a pass for 30 yards or more in a whole year.
It's a tough stat.
So
it's not what you want.
Not with one of the fastest players in the league. You probably don't want that at all.
It's it's crazy because when Tua, at least aside from yesterday, like when Tua's under center, the offense isn't that bad. But other than that, what Hundley or whoever was quarterbacking this team, through all the time that Tua misses, they just can't even progress the ball down the field. So that stat doesn't surprise me at all. And he's not getting younger.
27.
Yeah. I just think that the team is just very problematic. They've been problematic for a while. They can't stay healthy.
They're super fast, finesse. They're not a tough team, and they haven't. These are all stereotypes, but they haven't done anything to show that they aren't what we think they are. Shout out Denny Green. Rest in peace.
Shout out.
Miss you every day.
I hate you so much.
Go to the next.
Yeah, please. I'm going to. Aaron Rodgers is leading the Steelers to the playoffs. Overreaction or no? I want to say it's an overreaction because the Steelers have a winning record and have had a winning record prior to him anyway, so they'll be fine. He just will add a few more, I guess.
I'm going to say overreaction.
Yeah.
I still need to see a little. I'll play this one safe. Let me see a little more from him. He took a lot of hits yesterday, too. Made some great throws on the run. They designed some really nice passing plays for him, rolling out and kind of getting Calvin Austin open, and a nice one to Warren. So, yeah, let me just see a little bit more from the O-line. Defense didn't look great yesterday, but I think that had a lot to do with the Jets and their scheme. I was really impressed with the Jets yesterday. So, yeah, I don't think they won't win the division. I think the Ravens still kind of are in the driver's seat for that. So they'd have to get a wild card. But looking at a lot of the AFC teams yesterday, it's definitely in play, but I'll wait and see.
Yeah, I thought the Jets played well. I think Justin Fields said something along the lines of, we still put 30-something up on them. They're supposed to have a really good defense, so that's something. Yeah, I don't know. I am just curious. I heard what Aaron Rodgers said after the game too. Who, just got to blame I know I'm the more sour on him than any of us, right? But seriously, dude, just shut up. Just stop. Stop pointing. For 20 years, you've been blaming everybody else.
Yeah,
Can we just stop this game?
That comment is so weird. The Jets gave him everything. Brought in his OC.
Gave him the key to the franchise, and everyone got fired.
Everything. They gave him
everything.
everything.
Got to remember why he's really sour. He's sour because they asked him to fly all the way there to tell him that they weren't going to bring him back when they could have just told him over the phone. I would be salty as shit, too, if you made me fly all the way somewhere to make me come there and tell me we're not bringing you back. I would be petty as fuck, too. I'm sorry, I would. Now, granted, you're right about all that the Jets have done for them, but you made me get into a plane, fly from California to New York, let me walk into your building to tell me, yeah, we're not going to bring you back. You could have called me.
Sure.
Yeah.
The two, no, I guess you're not wrong, but for 2 years he's been in control.
No, I agree.
And now
you're absolutely right in that sense. And poor fans like you had to deal with that nonsense over and over and over again. I mean, he started off a season. I wouldn't even call it start a season. Went out there and Achilles just blew up, and then came back and it was just god awful and just went nowhere. And then he's crying about it. Unfortunately, you didn't live up to the hype that you gave this expectation as I'm going to be essentially the next one to bring a championship here and be like Broadway Joe. But I get both sides. I do. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's messy. I'm just happy.
I mean, he's, all these guys have egos, right? They all have immense pride and, think they're the best at what they do. And I think Aaron Rodgers, even to maybe another degree, right? Another level of ego and and arrogance is the word I'm looking for. So I feel like that plays into it big time. I agree. The guy's, off the reservation, so to speak, right? But
Literally,
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy to be everyone associated with the Jets. Was the
It's like they're all you got them all fired, my man. Like
True,
they're
you
all
did.
gone.
right? It's not the same staff.
You're all gone.
Both organization and player are just better off without one another.
Yeah, no, it's
Agreed.
fine.
Yeah, everything's good.
And I was watching the game at my parents' house yesterday. My dad was like, I didn't even know he was on the Steelers. No, my dad's not a huge sports fan, but I'm like,
Sure.
that's because the Steelers don't let this type of stuff happen.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin it's not an issue.
Mike Tomlin said Aaron Rodgers or Mason Rudolph.
Yeah,
I'd probably go Aaron Rodgers too. There's another team.
he looked good. Like he looked good.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns. He
did.
looked good.
Yeah.
There's another team that's making a quarterback decision potentially. The Giants need to bench Russ for Dart now. Overreaction or no? Brendan, I'm coming directly to you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, overreaction, big time. Anyone who watched that game saw that offensive line. That is not the way you introduce a rookie QB to the league. You're setting they'd be setting Dart up for failure. You just can't do it. You can't do it. We've seen it time and time again. And going back to Daniel Jones, same deal there, right? Like couldn't do anything behind this god awful offensive line for the past 6 years. We saw it with Derek Carr in Houston, right? When he came in, am I thinking of the wrong Carr?
That was David.
David Carr. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
But when he came in, drafted high pick by the Texans, they had the worst offensive line in the league, ruined that poor guy's career. So I think this is an overreaction big time, not the way you want to bring in a rookie QB.
Andrew Thomas didn't play yesterday, right? And I don't know
Correct.
if he's going to play this next week. And
Evan Neal was out as well.
Yeah, drastically different without those guys historically.
Yeah.
So
you're talking your blind side, blocker there, and Andrew Thomas is a really good left tackle. So yeah, that's a big key piece to be missing on the O line. But that we'll get into that more as well.
Well,
but yeah,
while I generally agree, and I think you're right. I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
As bad as the O-line was, I thought the play calling was almost even worse. And then on top of that, I think Russ just might be cooked. Like I think he has PTSD.
your boy.
Yeah, and he is looking at the rush the whole entire time. Like he's not even looking for his outlets or anything. And I think it's at a point where he just might be gun shy and he's not, and there's nothing you can do from there. Like it's just watching the same story over and over again yesterday. And while I agree with you, I think bringing Dart in behind that line is probably malpractice. Maybe by him being kind of young enough and dumb enough, you might see something else that kind of adds a little bit of spark to the offense, because the offense yesterday just looked dead on arrival the whole entire game, in a game that they were kind of in, like at certain points. So while I generally agree, they're going to have to put him in with that line sooner or later. And I do think he has a chance to be a very special player, unlike Daniel Jones, which I think is just like a mediocre quarterback. I think Jackson Dart can be a great one. So let's see what he has soon, because what else do you have going for you? Because
it was really
not it.
really telling that he was dressed yesterday and Jameis wasn't, and all summer long, that reassurance that Russell Wilson was the guy, and then Dable didn't answer the question, right? Like who's so
still up in the air.
It's probably still Russell Wilson, but I think that time is coming to an end probably quicker than Brennan what you'd want it to be, but I'd imagine he's gonna get some reps soon, especially if there's another blowout coming in Dallas.
I hate to see it for my boy Russ, but he's not seeing the field anymore, and that's probably due to a couple years of just getting the shit beat out of him.
Pummeled. Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, let this kid go in and get the shit beat out of him. He doesn't know any better yet.
I think they have to be strategic about it.
Sure.
Get Andrew Thomas back.
Yeah.
Whenever a soft spot opens up in this schedule, you know what I mean? Like
it doesn't.
Post by, whatever.
Yeah. But they got to be careful, put it that way, because they don't want I agree. I think they have something potentially really good here in Dart. They don't want to jeopardize that and ruin that by throwing them behind a terrible offensive
we saw
line.
Last year, like Drake May, that offensive line on the Patriots was terrible, but he looked good. He had flashes and he looked good and won them some games. And now they're in a better spot for year 2 because he got those reps. So, hoping for a similar thing for our G-men, because the defensive line is so good. Yeah, like kept them in the game. Like
Brian Burns looked good. Yeah, Hayes is chomping at the bit here. What do you got, Hayes?
The Giants are the first team to not score a touchdown in 3 straight season openers since the Lions from 1940 to 1942.
I wasn't born yet.
None of us were.
1942.
1940 to 1942.
Is that pre-war?
World War II.
Yeah.
So World War II.
So and to take that one step further there, Hayes, so I'm going to cut you off. But they've been the past 3 seasons under Dable for the season opener. They've been outscored 89-12.
So
that's hard to do.
So it's safe to say it doesn't matter who the hell the quarterback is. This is the point that I'm trying to make. It doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. It seems to be a top-down situation, and it's quite annoying to watch that. And I would be infuriated if I was Brendan and Giants fans like him that are watching this and wondering what the hell is going on. Now, the opposite side of this is just from being a sports fan for so long in my life, and like you guys have, we've seen when younger players come in and rejuvenate a team. Sometimes players and older veterans, they choose not to play for a certain guy because they want somebody else in, and they end up blocking and doing certain things. You're like, oh, where was this at? You know what I mean? Neighbors was damn near going to fight Dable in this, and I thought he was literally ready to scrap with him. So again, they may need to do it off the fact of they just need a jolt already. You know what I mean? It just might just be off the sheer fact of that. So I don't think it's an overreaction, unfortunately. I think the Giants have to do something that is drastic and that allows them to. They have one of the toughest schedules anyway, and a lot of people, and I'll even leave it to Brendan to answer this as a fan, but a person outside of the Giants, I don't believe they're going anywhere this year. So why not try to see with some of the great pieces that you have, what you have with Jackson? The great thing about that is if you put it out there and it doesn't work early and you see it's really, really not working, you're like, hey, hold up, let's pull it back. You still have Russ and you still have Jameis there, and you can put them back out there and do what you got to do from there.
I think if you
go there,
I think if you have a special quarterback, he can kind of mask some things around him. Where I think if you have a mediocre quarterback behind a bad O-line, it's just going to look bad. I think, like you said, Ace, I think he is special. Like I do, like just from watching him at Ole Miss, and I just. And the aura and the vibe around him, I think he can be that. So I think he can elevate, some of the bad play around him that Russ can't right now.
Yeah, I don't. There's no doubt in my mind he gets a shot sooner rather than later, especially after seeing that yesterday. I'm just looking at the schedule. Week 5 looks nice against the Saints. I feel like that would be a nice matchup there.
Saints are not.
Saints
are not as bad.
Then you
as
go
thought.
Eagles, Broncos, Eagles, Niners, Bears.
That's what I mean.
Packers,
it's
Lions.
It's bad. It's tough.
The bye is week 14. I was going to ask the question over under. Does Russ make it to the bye? But week 14 is way too late. I didn't know when the bye was. So
yep,
that's way too late. Yeah, it might. There's not a good spot. You're right. It just. At some point, it's just going to happen a lot earlier than I think the Giants wanted it to happen.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's week 3. That'd be my go.
I've been leaning
Chiefs.
with week 3 because I think Dable said he essentially
Sunday
didn't
night game.
confirm that it's going to be Russ, but then he did. So many, he's like, we believe in Russ. When he started saying that, I was like, all right, he's giving Russ one more week. He's giving Russ one more week. So
Yeah,
I
think you got one more
have
week.
to agree with you, Harrison. I think it's week 3. Depending on what Russ does. If Russ cooks somehow, some way, which I doubt, but if he does, then he'll be waiting a little bit longer. If he doesn't, week 3, Dart will be in. So, yeah. And that's enough of that. We're going to some dubs and L's. Brendan's going to start off with his first dub ever on this podcast. So, here you go.
Here we go.
Discount double check is back. Ron. I know we already touched on this a little bit, but
Ron.
It's enough of Aaron Rodgers.
I'm happy for Aaron. Like it's got to feel so good. Again, the guy's got a lot of pride. He's got a huge ego, as we know. And to think that, the Jets viewed him as he's washed, his career's over, and obviously him going to be he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? Not wanting to go out on that note, to come back first game of the year against the Jets and to throw 4 TDs to look really good. The guy can still spin it, man. I'm not saying he's going to do it for the rest of the year, but he looked good yesterday. So that's a big W for me from the weekend. To Sam's chagrin.
Cool,
man.
Great first dub, Brendan.
Harrison.
No, he played well. I could care less. And it pissed me off too when he did the little Super Mario jump, and my son goes, "Did he just do Super Mario?" And I'm like, "Aaron Rodgers, not my son."
Don't look at him. Actually, both of you right now.
I'm not mad. I'm just
Harrison. Your dub is.
Sorry,
So Harrison, your dub is.
Chargers. Herbie. Went down to Brazil, got a nice win against, it's not the defending Super Bowl champs, but previously. They just looked really good all across the board. Defense was solid. Justin Herbert made some incredible throws in the fourth quarter, stuff that I've wanted to see from him for a long time. When the game is in the balance, and just go out there and make a play. He made play after play after play when they needed to down the stretch. They seem to have some good mojo around that team. 11 wins last year. Chiefs. I thought the Chiefs would definitely look better. They look more of the same as last year. Still not bad, but I thought they would come out with a little bit of more of a purpose in kind of trying to reclaim their crown. But Chargers had other plans, and Justin Herbert looked awesome. He's got a new girlfriend. He's got all the things going for him right now. So
it's his year.
Yeah, it's his year. I was very impressed.
Pump the brakes.
Chargers,
Pump the brakes. Damn, your dub.
I already mentioned it. Packers. They played really well, and all facets of the game there, and that's it.
Mine is Danny Dimes.
As it should be. What a performance.
As much as I've
trashed
him and called him Danny Ducks, he deserves Danny Dimes in this one. He had 272 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Shock. And then he had 2 rushing touchdowns as well. He had 26 yards rushing. Just seeing what he did and how he essentially carved up the Dolphins, which at this point I really don't think is a tall feat at this point, but we'll go with that. But just seeing what he did, and as Brendan mentioned, and watching him in New York, and this felt like him in the playoff game that got him that contract that he never deserved. This is what it felt like to see it. Now, do I think it's a charade? Yes, I do. Yeah, charade. I don't want to say charade because it's charade.
Is that a charade or a mirage?
See?
Charade.
See?
I like that.
Mm-hmm. We'll go with that. Anyway.
Remember Webster.
But yeah, no, I just don't I just want to give him love because I normally poop on him every time I get the opportunity to. So, yep. Thank you.
This year's Sam Darnold.
I wouldn't go that far. L's for me, Ravens. I said I was going to come here and say some things. I believe they should have fired Big Brother Hardball. Or he's little brother Hardball. He's Big Brother Hardball, right?
He's
big,
older.
Yeah.
Sean's older.
He's the older one. Yeah.
They should have fired him a couple years ago.
No, I'll take him.
Okay, you can take him. I don't think his decision making in times and crunch times, where Harrison was mentioning before about Lamar getting the ball in certain situations where they are conservative and would kick off. I would have went for it. I would have never, ever kicked the damn ball. I would have said, Lamar, I trust you. You have the best legs in here. When we put Derek out here, you do something, play action, whatever, and you get that first down and go and do it. I feel that is a part of it, but I just feel as the Ravens as a whole is, when are you going to get over the hump? You didn't have the pieces. Now you've collected the Infinity Stones and you have the gauntlet, and somehow, some way, you still can't get over it. And now, not only can you not get over the Chiefs, you can't get over the Bills. And you keep losing and losing and losing and losing. So when is this going to happen for you? Now, I believe Lamar can do several things, but collectively, we need to stop acting like this Ravens defense is the Raven defense that had Ray Lewis and Ed Reed on it. That was a phenomenal defense then. And I know the legacy of what the Ravens are defensively. That's not that team. And it's not that defense. It is a good defense. It is one of the better defenses in the league, but it's not that. And as you saw what Josh Allen did, they are Swiss cheese on the back end of that defense. Even though Kyle Hamilton is back there, love him. But what else do we have there? I think they have a major problem. And I don't know. Again, it's probably me overreacting. Again, it's the first week. Again, this is so hard. It's an overreaction week one. And I'm sure I'm going to have to eat crow at some point, but it's fine. I still have to say it because they seem to continuously choke in the postseason. And I'm tired of seeing it happen because I so badly want to see Lamar in the Super Bowl. And the opposite of who they played, I want to see the Bills in the Super Bowl as well play. I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs, even though we are watching that. But I do want to see those guys and what they do with the opportunity of getting to the Super
Bowl. I think you're kind of spot on. Like, it's like they have all these superpowers, and like at the end of the games, they just forget they have them. It's like Superman. Like one day, was like, "Oh, I just forgot I could fly here." And they just
want to
don't
be morally right and just win naturally.
They were leading and rushing, and then they didn't rush that game in the playoffs. Like, what are you doing?
They get so conservative when it comes down to like winning time. When it's just like, no, just go do the thing that you did the entire game.
The thing that got you here.
It is pretty maddening. Pretty maddening. But yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, and like that's what I said. Like, I'm not putting that all on Lamar. It's not really at all on Lamar. It's just like, I don't know why they don't put them in positions to continue to take advantage of their strengths, which they just disregard when it comes down to it. It's weird.
They play into the narratives of what media is talking about.
Yeah.
Instead of doing what they do really, really well.
Too.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry just took the wind out of that stadium for 3.5 quarters, and then he's the one that fumbles there. But yeah, for 3 quarters you couldn't stop him.
Oh,
and then Oliver's,
monster.
Great
he had a monster game.
So
monster game.
Yeah. So
you know who didn't have a monster game? Sam's pick.
Yeah, the Dolphins. We talked about already. 3 turnovers from Tua, 8 points. Defense was non-existent. We touched on Danny Dimes here, and I think he played really well. I don't know if it was more of the Dolphins just being bad. I don't really care. I mean, I don't think Mike McDaniel's long for this job, and I agree. I love him to be my OC. I like the personality. He's one of one. It's cool. This just hasn't worked in Miami. maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see
You're not.
anything the last few years that would
You're not wrong.
show us differently. We've been saying this for a few years now.
Again, some guys are not meant to be head coaches. Some guys are really meant to be coordinators, and that's okay. But obviously, you take your chance when you get it. But some guys are really made to be coordinators, and that's okay because they're going to make their money. And he'll make a lot of money being an offensive coordinator, honestly. Yeah. Harrison, you have the Giants O-line.
No, we don't. We can move past.
Bacon.
Yeah.
You agree with Harry and piggyback. Okay, so we're just done with that. It was about the Giants, guys.
Yeah, we're done with
about
this section.
It's okay. We don't need to.
Yeah.
We don't need to beat a dead horse.
Not
Okay.
good.
That's it.
Not good. Yeah.
So week 1 records. Can you guys guess where Harrison ended up? I'll tell you. At the bottom again. Bacon had a 12-3 record. Shout out to Bacon for that one. Sam and I, which we seemingly continuously do, we had a tie record, which is 10-5. And the risk taker that still hasn't learned his lesson was 9-6. That would be Harrison. But we all
3 games over 500. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's 1 game off you guys.
This is the beginning of the snowballing. Let's just let it run its course.
I would have said
let it run its course.
Yeah, I would say beginner's luck for Bacon, but I didn't get that.
No, you didn't. You definitely didn't. We all still have 1 pick left. Everybody picked the Bears except for me. Bacon. So Bacon has the Vikings. The rest of us have the Bears. So we'll see how that goes. Bacon could extend his lead even more, or we can get a little bit closer. So
let's get closer.
I was going to say something, but I don't want to get canceled. Week 2 picks. Mm-hmm. Thursday Night Football, Commanders at Packers. We all have Go Pack Go. On Sunday, Jaguars at Bengals. I feel like that game is in like London. I know it's not, but it just feels like just reading it. It's like a London game. Bengals. Bengals for myself. Bengals for Sam. Bengals for Bacon. Harrison is the Jags. We'll get back to that. Bears at Lions. Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my. Harrison chose the Bears because he can't stop riding Caleb. So the rest of us chose the Lions. So there's that. Giants at Cowboys. We all chose.
Do I have the right to change that?
I feel like
if between I need to see tonight.
Yeah, I need to see the Vikings too. I need to see tonight.
That's not how this works, guys. You put your picks in, and it is what it is. It's not fair.
It's the first week of the season.
I'm going to change the document on Tuesday.
It's okay. It's already recorded, and I have the copy, so it's done. We all chose the Cowboys, except for Brennan, who put in caps. G-Man. Rams at Titans. We all have the Rams. Pats at Dolphins. Sure. Harrison has the Pats. Sam has the Pats. Brendan and I have Fins up. So let's see how that works out. Niners at Saints. I pray the Niners don't wear that ugly-ass jersey again. We all have the Niners except for Harrison, and somehow, some way, he went with the Saints after what he saw them do. Okay.
They looked good yesterday.
That's what you think. Okay. Fool's Gold.
Spencer Rattler.
Fool's Gold, or it was just those gold jerseys that mesmerized you. One of the two. Bills at Jets. We all have the Bills. Seahawks at Steelers. We all have the Steelers there. Browns at Ravens. Ravens for all of us. Broncos at Colts. I have Broncos. Sam has Broncos. Harrison has Colts. And Brendan has Let's Ride. Panthers at Cards. It's the Bryce Young get back at Harrison game. The Cards for all of us.
That's the short king bowl there.
Yeah, Bryce Love, right? Whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
The two.
Bryce,
is this
Bryce
the two
Young
shortest? Is he? Oh, okay. The two shortest quarterbacks to ever face off against each other. No, I'm being legit. Like, is that a thing? Might be a thing.
It's the lollipop gill.
Did like Doug Flutie and like
reality
ever
isn't
play?
Working, right? Reality doesn't have a job right now, right?
That's true.
We need
sure he's got some spare time.
Yeah.
Short
someone
king
check that.
Yep.
Eagles at Chiefs. We all have the Eagles except for Brendan. He has the Chiefs. Thank you for that, Brendan. Falcons at Vikings. I have Falcons, and everybody else has the Vikings. Monday night, Bucks at Texans. I have the Texans, and you all have the Bucks. And then Monday Night Football, Chargers at Raiders. I have the Chargers. We all have the Chargers. Shout out to the Chargers. Anything that stood out to you guys on any of these picks, and you have questions for your peer?
I'm going to start with the Saints pick there, Harrison. Love to.
Yeah.
I didn't see a lot of that, but
so
enlighten me.
Obviously, I was locked into the Cardinals-Saints game.
As one would be.
So,
of course.
The Saints started hot last year. Am I incorrect in that?
They went 2-0 and yeah.
They are not a bad team when healthy. Like, their defense is pretty formidable. They have a lot of weapons on the outside. If Kamara's healthy, he's still very dangerous. Rashid Shaheed, Olave is really good. I was really impressed with them yesterday. And they're home again. I was equally unimpressed with the Niners. I thought their defense was great, but I just don't like the Seahawks O-line, and I thought they had Sam Darnold in hell. So it's really just me being generally impressed with the Saints and less so with the Niners. The Niners are already banged up. Like, they don't really have any receivers right now. Brock Purdy made a lot of plays yesterday, which he should. He gets paid a lot of money to do so. But I like the Saints kind of defense up against him, especially at home. And Spencer Rattler didn't shit all over himself. So I was actually impressed with how he played against a tough defense. Like, the Cardinals defense was much better and looked pretty good last week. So I think Niners and Cardinals defense is similar. Niners get the edge, definitely. But yeah, I think one more week of learning for him. I thought he ended the game on a high note, kind of driving them down the field. I don't know. I kind of like the upset there. That's why. I thought about it.
Okay.
I don't just go willy-nilly here. It could be wrong, but I got a reason.
Respect.
Any other ones that stood out for any of you guys that want to share and ask your peer what they were thinking?
Ask your peers.
Why are you guys picking the Dolphins?
Yeah, that's a great one.
I just feel that they just really can't be this bad that they were just going to let. I'm just going off the fact. I mean, they could be, but I just think they're not going to go out there and just get embarrassed like what they did and just not come back and have some type of chip on their shoulder. They are professional football players, and I'm sure they're going to want to come out and prove a point and do everything they can to prove a point. So I feel like they'll blow their load on this game, and then the next game they will essentially kind of be right back. We'll kind of see the third game where they really are.
This is their Super Bowl.
Might be.
There's a long history of the Pats going down to Miami very early in the season and just getting owned, even in peak Tom Brady times, right? Like the Wildcat. Wasn't the Wildcat born from like a week 2 or 3 Dolphins Patriots
hot
game?
As hell down there.
So,
Aiken, what are you going to say about it?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're going back home, going back to Miami. You know, from the Great White North there in Caucasia, after getting stomped by Danny Dimes. Yeah, I mean, put it this way: if they take a beating against the Pats at home, second straight week, I wouldn't be surprised we see some changes start to be made or some heads start to roll. So, yeah, I think it's a bounce back game for the Dolphins being at home. And I'm just, like I mentioned to you guys last week or a couple weeks ago, I'm just not high in the Pats. So
fair.
That's my rationale.
Last one here, I'd say Harrison again, Colts.
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, my next question was a 2-parter for you guys. Like, how impressed are you guys with the Broncos and Bengals early? Because I kind of feel like similar spots.
Impressed but the Bengals didn't lose this game because they
tried.
They were negative yardage in the second half.
Right.
Yeah,
they typically would lose this game.
So you're asking the Colts?
Yeah.
Again, similar to the Saints, I was really impressed with how they looked and less impressed with how the Broncos looked against the Titans team, which is just not very good. And I didn't love some of the early kind of. Bo Nix threw some nice passes. He missed on a couple, and it just didn't seem to gel quite well yet, which they'll get to. They're a good team, but I think it's just early. I liked what I saw from the Colts, and they're home again, and I I don't see the Broncos like running the table. So I think they catch an L this week.
Well, you already know how I feel about the Broncos and what I think they're going to do this year. So I'm
they're right there. I mean,
I'm not impressed by
they're
what
still
they
very
did,
good.
and obviously they kind of played to the level of competition.
Yeah,
but again, it's week 1. I'm not going to get too high or too low about really any team, but I'm very, very curious. Before we get out of here, gentlemen, Spitgate. Do you care or do you not care?
No.
I mean, not really, but, that was a pretty stupid thing to do.
It wasn't smart.
And I know you feel the same way.
It wasn't smart, but it was smart by Dak. But if Dak doesn't get fined on top of this, I'm going to have a problem with it. Dak did not spit on him, but Dak spit in his direction and purposely smiled in his face. He knew exactly what he was doing. And then wanted to get on there and get on good old TV and be like, I was trying to spit between my linemen, and I normally spit, and I'm embarrassed by it. Dak kick rocks. Are you kidding me? I just wanted to smash his face. Like, Dak, just be real. Be like, yeah, I just wanted to get him out the game. I didn't want to have to deal with him the whole game, so I knew I can get into his head, and that's it. Because you can get into Jalen Carter's head, which the vets need to 100% talk to him and be like, you realize you're the focal point of this defense.
Yeah.
They double team
your line now, buddy. They
game plan for you. You need to be in the game. So now I know there's a potential looming suspension, possibly. I pray they just give him that game and just a massive fine and we call it a day. But if it's a 2-game, 3-game suspension, that's huge. That's not going to be good for the Eagles. But I don't think it's going to be that much.
Yep.
That was boneheaded, though. Very, very boneheaded.
It's just a little fluid.
Just spit to the side of them. You didn't have to spit on them. Spit to the side of them.
Or just don't do it directly in front of the referee.
That too.
I mean, he could have shoved him. He could have smacked him in the head, and would have been a 15-yard unsuccessful.
100%.
The last thing you want to do is spit on him, and he's lucky, that it didn't cost the Eagles a game.
Very much so.
So
well, the way that
it could have, because that game played out completely different than what it would have if he was on the field.
The way that the Cowboys were running down the field was a direct impact from what he did.
100%.
Direct impact. And I thought he was absolutely bozo. And of course, everybody that I knew asked me how I felt about it. And there's no way I can defend that. So anybody that's curious, I can't defend a grown man spitting on another grown man in the streets. That almost at times would get you killed or get your ass whooped. So this is not that. This is professional football. And you did this on the biggest platform where everybody is watching this game because it's the first game of the season. It's primetime football.
They caught that in those 4K.
It was.
4K,
it was.
baby.
You got to see it in slow motion. I have never seen spit in slow motion so much in my life. It was
as
wild.
Clear as day. I know. It was the clearest spit I've ever seen in my life.
Not since Seinfeld.
It's crazy.
Right?
That's a magic loogie.
It's crazy.
Magic loogie.
I was just like, all right.
That was one
I
magic
would say
loogie.
the fact that Dak did spit makes it easier, the whole situation easier to justify. Not that it
does,
happen.
but it doesn't. But
it's the same thing like fans hitting D-Hop and Lamar running out of the tunnel.
Did you see he got banned?
It shouldn't happen.
He got banned.
Yeah. So that's just, again, makes it easier, right? Like you hit a player running off the field, he's going to shove you back. Like, doesn't make it easier, but it happened. So
I just love how the NFL chose to continue to show Jalen Carter's spit, and they waited until after the rain delay, an hour and a half of everybody waiting to be like, oh, we got some new footage. Here's Dak that he also spit first. It was like, oh, okay, so we've been talking about this the whole time, and he just did this. You don't think that was a direct correlation? Do you guys you guys agree that was a direct correlation of why he did that, right? Is it abundantly clear to you that he did it because of what Dak did?
That Dak went first? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, totally.
Yeah.
And, America's, quote-unquote, America's team, the quarterback against Jalen Carter, who is I don't agree with it.
No,
I'm
yeah,
just
but
saying
we can
for
not-
some reason
we
the
cannot
media
say
has
that
this
ever again. But yeah.
fascination with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, though. The
Never say it again.
optics of here's the quarterback of the Cowboys, and here is a defensive player who should have went 1 overall and slid for some off the field issues. And look, here's that bad apple. Like, this is why.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's totally outblown and overblown and ridiculous.
Speaking of America's team, have you guys seen the Netflix documentary yet?
I haven't
No.
watched it yet. I will.
I
The
think
cheerleader one?
Yes,
No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
I'm kidding.
I've heard it's great.
It is fantastic. It's
Okay.
it's a must watch. Yeah,
Okay, I will watch it. It's
even
on
if
my
you don't
list.
like the Cowboys, which none of us here do. We grew up in the '90s, obviously, and they were the team of that
Right there.
decade. So I guess Niners might have a word with that, but it's a great show. Highly recommend it. You might actually like
Probably
Jerry
not.
at the end of it.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
it's not possible.
No, not possible.
Okay, you say that now.
I've turned
Wow.
on Kevin Durant, liking Kevin Durant now. I can't do it on Jerry Jones. Like,
You say that
my
now.
quota's full.
I respect the NFL is literally a soap opera.
Mhm.
Like, we were just sitting here watching a soap opera, and Jerry Jones is like the head showman. So
Oh yeah.
He is. When you watch it, you'll gain a little more respect for him too.
Okay.
What he did for the game and marketing and endorsement deals. He spearheaded that and was the first to do it. So he was, again, as much as we critique Jerry as a GM, and rightfully so, he's made a lot of boneheaded moves. Him as an owner and a pioneer in the game really comes to light during this show. So I highly recommend it.
Okay.
And Michael
Okay.
Irvin is the man. I'm sorry.
Speaking of owners, how about Steve Ballmer? Just get
That's don't have time for that one.
We don't have time for that today. Goodness gracious, we don't.
I don't know what to make of that.
By the way,
we have no
We'll get to
Shador
that.
Sanders is the top selling jersey.
jersey.
He's
Yeah, I can
right
see that.
alongside with Saquon Barkley and Josh Allen for this offseason in jerseys. So,
Yeah.
shout out to Shador.
We
And
ride
thank
for
you
our
all
people.
for coming to Spitgate. Sam, take us out of here, please.
183 in the books. Thanks so much for listening. We are back. The NFL season's here. We'll be back next week. Till then, peace.
Talk 2 on that thing.
Go Birds.